Ladies and gentlemen, although there are no ladies that actually watch my videos, so gentlemen and gentlemen, welcome to the FNAF game tier list. Now, I did make the FNAF hotness tier list, which was completely awful. I do not recommend you watch it, which I think does actually qualify me to make this list. We're going to be ranking all the FNAF games, including FNAF AR and FNAF World, even though you can't even get them anymore. But all jokes aside, I actually have a really big FNAF video coming up, so if you like the video, consider subscribing. I'm close to 2,000 subscribers, and it would mean a lot to me. But let's just jump straight into this. In the worst spot, in the absolute poo-poo pee-pee shit spot, we have FNAF AR. It was a free game that you can't even get anymore, and the whole purpose of the game was just to capitalize on the AR, augmented reality, like, hype that was going around Pokemon Go and stuff. So this was just Pokemon FNAF, and it really wasn't that good. I don't even know if it's canon or not. They tried like adding cool lore stuff like Remnant, but honestly, there was just random characters. Like there was like Statue of Liberty Chica, and there was like I don't even know. There was just there was things. They were like Frozen Freddy, and it made no sense. This game sucked. I got it when it came out. I played for like 30 minutes and got bored of it. But it was a free mobile game, so there's not really a whole lot to expect from it. It was pretty pee pee poo poo bad, and for that, it's obviously going last place. Now, in the second to last place, we also have FNAF World, but I will put this in mid. I will put this in mid because I know some people like it, even though it's really not that fun. FNAF World it's a joke game. It's an RPG. It's ADHD RPG simulator. Like you tell me what's going on. Like if you can tell me what's going on screen right now, I'll give you $5. It's just flashing lights, loud noises, big numbers, and it's an RPG. It's cool, I guess, but there's kind of a reason they took it off like Steam and stuff. I think you can still get this on like Game Jolt or something or some third-party website, but it just wasn't that good. It's not great, guys. Now, I didn't see Springtrap a single time the first 3 nights, and I don't know if he just got bored and decided to leave the building, but all I knew was place the audio lures in the top right of the pizzeria or whatever, and he should go away. And that's kind of what I did, and I didn't see him a single time. I didn't like it too much, kind of not a good game, to be honest. Some people like it, and that's okay too, but it really wasn't for me. It's not a huge fan of the game. Coming up next, we have FNAF's sister location. Now, I know a lot of people hate this game, and I don't think it's that bad, to be honest. I kind of enjoyed it the first few times. It's not like the other games where you sit in the office and it's the same thing over and over again. Each night it's its own different tasks. And it's cool, but it's kind of only meant to be played once. There's no replayability at all, because 90% of the game is just scripted events, like Blora walking in front of the screen, or the PA system guy yelling at you when you're in the Blora's gallery. It's the whole game is scripted events, and after you kind of learn what to do, it's pretty easy and it's not scary, except for the Spring Lock Night. That one actually sucks ass. I hate that one. Coming up next, we have FNAF Security Breach. Now, I think FNAF Sister Location walked, so FNAF Security Breach could also walk, because it's also pretty bad. I'm not even talking about all the bugs and crap, because this game was super buggy on launch, and kind of is still buggy. But they tried doing like a little free roam mechanic, but this game it's not scary. This game is the exact opposite of scary. I don't know how they made a FNAF game and didn't make it scary, but this whole game is not very fun, and I don't know why they really made it, but you know what? I don't even know. It's not a very good game. I'm not a huge fan of it. But coming up next in the first spot of good, we have Ultimate Custom Night. Now, Ultimate Custom Night, it's cool, but I mean, you can only play it so much until you've kind of played it. There's no really way of beating it. I mean, there are like little challenges you can do, and I guess you could beat it if you did the 50-20 mode, but that's basically impossible. And it's cool. It wasn't my favorite game, but I kind of liked how they did their own little thing, and each character had their own audio lines at the end of it when you get jump scared by them. And it was kind of just management simulator, and it was cool, but it was just alright. It's fun, but you know, it's just fun. There's not a whole lot to say about it, because I think it's the perfect description of alright. It's not crazy good, it's not bad, it's just alright. Now, coming up next, I'm probably gonna hate for this, but FNAF 4. I like FNAF 4 a lot. I think the animatronics in that are super scary. I think it's actually really good. but the whole game relies on audio. Like you could play this game probably blindfold because the entire game relies on audio in order to play it. And the problem I had with it, at least, I don't know if this was for everyone, but I could not hear the animatronics. I had to turn up my headset all the way to the max volume just to hear them breathing to shut the door. And whenever I got jump scared, I would go deaf because my headset was on maximum volume.
HomeQuote Explorer lets you easily compare coverage options so you don't end up overpaying.
Good, because we spent a lot on this.
Oh yeah, really high-end stuff.
Sorry, that's our ghost. It's more no.
I actually just got jump scared by Progressive. What the okay. That actually scared the crap out of me. I got jump scared by Progressive. FNAF 4, it's fun. It's a good game. I wish it kind of didn't rely on just audio, but I do love the Nightmare character and the Fredbear character, with Nightmare literally just being the embodiment of death itself. I thought it's super cool. Really good game. But it's not my favorite. It was just pretty good. Coming up next, we have FNAF Help Wanted 2. And this one's cool. It's not as good as the first Help Wanted, because this one focuses on FNAF Security Breach, and I think some sister location. And the problem with Security Breach was it's not scary. And the problem with this one too is it's also not scary. I don't know why they decided to make this game not scary, because the first Help Wanted was completely scary, and this one was doing random mini games like doing Roxanne Wolf's makeup or beating Helpy with a hammer. It really wasn't that great. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of content in this game, there's a lot of fun mini games, but they're not scary mini games. Like, they're just random mini games that I don't even know how they work a jump scare into them. Like, it's just making nachos. Why would you get jump scared for making nachos? It's cool, it's a fun game, but it's not a scary game at all. It's not even really a FNAF game at that point. But it's, you know, I still enjoyed it. It's still pretty cool. I think it's their most recent game, and it's pretty cool, I guess. But coming up next, we have Pizzeria Simulator. Now, Pizzeria Simulator can be divided into 3 parts: scrapping the animatronics, the Pizzeria Simulator part, and the nighttime part. The scrapping animatronics part is fun. The Pizzeria Simulator part's my favorite. I love making the FNAF Pizzeria. It's low-key actually really fun, because you can just play mini games like drunk driving, and you can even gamble if you get the prize king. Oh my god! But the night section is actually the most miserable thing known to man. It's actually just click button and wait, and then click another button and wait. And I don't really like the mechanics of the animatronics when they jump scare you. It's weird how they move around. Whenever I was playing it, they're supposed to do an audio line, like whenever they enter the vent next to you, but that never happened for me, and they would just randomly kill me even though I saw their little like heat signature across the map. Overall, it's fun. I really love the Pizzeria Simulator part of it. The nighttime part sucked really bad, but it probably had the best ending in any FNAF game. And with that, it's such a good game. One of my favorites. Coming up next in the first one of Banger, we have Help Wanted 1. Now, this one is actually this is perfect. This was, I think, Steelwheel Studios' first FNAF game, and they did really good on this one. I absolutely loved the minigames. They were fun and scary. With FNAF Help Wanted 2, they were fun, like they were really fun, but not scary. This is a good balance of being fun, but also terrifying to, I don't want to play this. The first 3 games are in it, and it's just alright, but I think it really shines in the vent repair and the FNAF animatronic repair. It was actually some of the best mini games, and it was also fun to just switch into hard mode and kind of play the game again, but in a completely different lens and make it a little harder. So I actually really love this game a lot, and the Halloween DLC was just alright. I thought it was cool. It did tease FNAF Security Breach with like the mall and the vanity mask, which was kind of cool, but I mean, the Halloween DLC was cool. Overall, really good game. I love it a lot. One of my favorites. Coming in the number 2 spot, we have FNAF 2. Now, this game is great because of Toy Chica. I'm just saying, dude, if I was in the restaurant, I'd be doing it raw till 6 a.m. on the counter, on the floor, straight raw. I would probably be kicked out of the pizzeria. You know how you know how like in the eyes of the animatronics they look for predators? They'd be looking for me because I would be the Scott Cawthon tried to do a thing where it's like, you know, the first game, let's make more animatronics, a bigger pizzeria, and no doors. But it's just easier than the first game because all the animatronics can just be fooled by the mask except for two of them, which is just shine the flashlight and wind the music box. So you can beat the entire game by winding the music box, flashing your flashlight, and putting on your mask, and that's the entire game. It's probably the easiest FNAF game, other than maybe Sister Location. But overall, I actually like this one a lot. It's super fun. I liked Phone Guy in it, and overall, a really good game. Probably also this coming, but in the number 1 spot, we have Cinco Noches con Alfredo. But all jokes aside, we have FNAF 1. This game is, to this day, probably the best FNAF game. For being such a small game, this one was actually really good. I think the animatronics are probably the scariest in this one, because in FNAF 4, you know, they look scary, like there's giant teeth and there's like spikes and stuff. But in this one, the animatronics look realistic, like uncanny, because you could probably see that in real life. You could probably go to Chuck E. Cheese or whatever and see something that looks very similar to that. And I really hate the uncanny look of them. It just terrifies me, and to this day, I think it's such a good game. I'm also probably blinded by nostalgia because I played this game as a kid when it came out, and it was one of my favorites. Such a good game. Whenever Phone Guy died on night 4, I actually cried. Overall, this first game was such a good game. If you've played any of the FNAF games, you know that the first one still holds up to this day, and is still scary. But there's not a whole lot I can really say about it because it kind of just speaks for itself. If you've played the game, you know just how good it is, and there's not a whole lot to really say anymore. So that's about it. See ya.
Yummers. Him in there, huh?
Yeah.
Yummers. Yummers. Just wanted to cram in as much yummers.